For those who are not good at math, that's over half of all domestic violence fatalities, including a firearm. In 2014, 29% of children witnessed the violence from an intimate partner. Take time to think about that. That's what that pause was for. Take a few minutes and realize Georgia ranks number 9th in the nation. Wow. Here's some other facts. 1 in 3 women and 1 in 4 men in the United States have experienced some form of physical violence by an intimate partner. On a typical day, domestic violence hotlines receive approximately 21,000 calls, 15 calls per minute. Intimate partner violence accounts for 15% of all violent crimes. Wow. The presence of a gun in a home during a domestic violence incident increases the risk of homicide by at least 500%. And 72% of all murder-suicides involve an intimate partner, and 94% of the victims of these crimes are female. Whew. So, I know some people, and I just want to say, no matter what you believe in, God works in mysterious ways. And this situation with domestic violence, I was going to address when, they have National Domestic Violence Week and et cetera. But like I told you all, this situation happened early this week. A young lady was murdered by her baby daddy, boyfriend, or son, child's father, whatever you want to call it. Her and the daughter were murdered, and the gentleman was apprehended by the police. But it's near and dear to me because being involved with women's competitive kickball and kickball period, you deal with women with all kind of situations, issues, etc. Right? And I think as our job as men, we need to look after our sisters a little more. Now, I'm going to tell you, be honest with you, now, we're not here to save relationships, etc. We're here to, per se, counsel without hate, because some guys counsel with the intentions to try to holler at, Mr. Steal Your Girl. Nah, this ain't one of those situations. I'm talking about men stepping up and advising and treating our sisters like sisters. Stepping up to the plate and saying, hey, I got your back. And women, I need women to do the same thing and say, hey, brother, I got your back. Because we need each other more now than ever before. We're living in a society now where racism is not even around the corner, it's at your front door. It's on your jobs. It's in your grocery stores. It's in your clothing stores. It's in your malls. It's right in your face. And right now we need to, we're not our grandfathers and ancestors. We will not stand for injustice in any form or fashion. But when it comes to our sisters, we need to really, really, really deal with protecting our sisters. Now, when it comes to, I talked about this. There's a difference between, I talked about this on Thursday night. I got into a little bit of it, but domestic abuse, and I just gave the definition of domestic violence. And for those who are listening, domestic violence is the willful intimidation, physical assault, battery, sexual assault, and or other abusive behavior as a part of a systematic pattern of power. Now, fellas, and I'm speaking to the fellas, I know that woman may piss you off. but it ain't worth it. It doesn't make you a coward by walking away. See, how I was raised, if somebody put their hands on you, then that's the language you're speaking. But words should never hurt you in any form or fashion. Now, ladies, I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say this now. Stop putting your hands on men when you get mad. Some men ain't built like that. Some men only respond to violence. And some men only respond to violence as well. It doesn't make you a coward because you're defending yourself. In the sense of like restraining. I'm not talking about going toe to toe with a woman. Restrain. Be easy. But ladies, stop putting your hand on these men, knowing good and well what the consequences and repercussions are. If any lady, if you're listening, like I say, if you don't want to share a testimony about domestic violence, but you like to talk about this and give advice to the brothers, or speak on the advice I just gave you all, phone lines are open, 404-641-9606. It's been a quiet night on the phone lines. I know it's Saturday, nice weather around the country. I know people are out and about, but if you're listening right now, I want you to understand that I know people personally who've been through it. And I shared a little bit of my testimony that I witnessed this in the household for a short period of time and growing up. And I and my mother was involved. And it's nothing to play with. Some men don't know how to speak with their tongues. They know how to speak with their hands. And it's not worth it, fellas. Well, I mean, it's not. I had to learn that a long time ago. You're never going to win an argument with a woman. I mean, I swear to God, you will never win an argument with a woman. I don't know why women who are lawyers are not, who are super successful, because they should never lose a case in court. Jesus Christ. But we have to learn how to humble ourselves. And I said this before, fellas, you have to experience humility before you experience humanity. And now that's the part of the domestic violence part, right? But domestic abuse is different. Domestic abuse is when you verbally abusing a woman, right? When it's not the physical part. There's a difference between the two. But in these relationships, and ladies, you contribute more to the domestic abuse part than the men do in some cases. You know, by belittling that man, by emasculating that man. That plays a major factor in your relationship. Some men are able to tune things out and keep it pushing, but your subconscious is very deep. And so my thing is that I know it's hard for us at times to build each other up when we're angry, but sometimes just let it go and then come back to the conversation later. Floor that conversation and come back later. Because as adults, we should be able to communicate. We should be able to use our words and talk. Let's stop being keyboard thugs and let's talk again. Because I really don't want to wake up to another sad case of seeing somebody in a domestic violence situation. It's not a good look. But again, phone lines are open. I got time to take one call before we get off the air. 404-641-9606. And I wanted to be understood that if you need any assistance, if you're in a relationship you're trying to get out of, or you know somebody that's in a domestic violence situation, feel free to contact me immediately. And you can contact any one of us here at Simply United Together and at Simply United Radio. We are our brothers and sisters' keeper, and we're here to help. So let me give you a rundown, too, as well, real quick, far as Simply United Together, the organization that helps bring you Simply United Radio. We have a couple things that we do on a regular basis every Friday. Every Friday is Youth Night at the Simply United headquarters, 3105 Washington Road, East Point, Georgia. We do games for the kids. We do some little small classroom settings as far as educating the kids, and we do etc. Interact and build with our youth. You can catch that every Friday at Simply United Together headquarters. Also, know somebody looking for a job, or you may be listening looking for a job, looking for a part-time job. We have a staffing agency, Simply United Staffing Agency. And the motto is simply putting people to work. And if you're ready to work, contact our staffing agency at SUT Staffing, the number 1 at gmail.com. That's SUT Staffing, STAFFING, the number 1 at gmail.com. And you get a reply back of all the details and information we need to get you information about that job that you can work, something in part-time, full-time, etc. But as we grow, as this organization grows, we definitely are the community's outreach, the community radio station, etc. And we can definitely use donations to help build and grow our radio station. We're trying to take this to an actual radio network, a possible FM station, but it's going to take donations from our listeners like you that are listening. You can drop a donation from $1 to $1 million, whatever's in your heart to give. You can use our PayPal link, and if you follow any of our Simply United Together pages, or even if you follow me on Facebook, you see we're actively in the community. And a lot of those come from donations from people like you, our listeners like you. We donate right back to the hood. You know, we got the Hope in the Bag, where we take care of families. I'm going to be implementing this domestic violence movement, etc. It's going to be a lot, but it takes support from our community. If you're not able to physically give your time, give donations to PayPal.me/Simply United Radio. That's PayPal.me/Simply United Radio. And that money you will see being put to use to empower and improve conditions in our communities. If you see that, we do that every weekend, every Friday with the youth, the Hope in the Bag on the weekends and sometimes during the week. We're here to help and improve our communities. And it takes listeners like you. Also, starting next week, we're starting April 3rd. April 3rd. So next week is going to be the 28th, the 30th and the 1st. Those are going to be my last 2 Thursdays and Saturday shows by themselves, and they're going to be Monday, Thursday, and Saturday starting April 3rd. So email me, email me at Shawn, SHAWN, Ward, WARD, SUT@gmail.com. Email me any suggestions for the shows, any topics that you want to talk about. I'm here for the people. I have a long list of topics that I'm going to be talking about, but I like to hear from you what's on your mind. What would you like to discuss? Because that's what we're here for. So when I hear that music, you know it's about time for me to wrap it up. I appreciate you all tonight. It's been a great show. I wanted to not dampen your spirits with the domestic violence situation, but it's something that we need to address. Protect our sisters, protect our brothers. That's what we're here for, to be simply united together.